Hello and welcome to BetaHaus.Life, the podcast for BetaHaus Studios. My name is Ben, and today in the studio we have
Nick
and
Brent.
Brent. All right, welcome guys. These guys are both part of
Half of Hazel. Yeah.
All right, guys. So tell me, what got you guys into YouTube initially?
Yeah, so before I moved out here, I had texted Nick, and I was like, hey man, like I see people on YouTube every day just creating everyday normal content, whether it's playing video games, going out and traveling, cooking, this and that. And I'm like, why couldn't we do this? We have our own stories that some people might want to know. Why can't we tell our stories to the world too? And just kind of share our experiences going through life with whoever's really willing to watch is what I thought. I don't know about you.
I mean, in college, I just definitely thought that we were both hilarious.
Yeah.
So, and we were probably the only people that thought that. But at the same time, like when he sent me that, I was like, oh, I'm watching all these YouTube creators. And I was like, there's no way, just like he said, that we couldn't do that. And all these people are getting these views of 20,000 people or above. And I was like, I want that many people to view into my life. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but like, I want that kind of share my life that much with that many people.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was also the aspect of like, oh, people are getting paid to do this, because I made videos all throughout high school, just like messing around with friends, jumping bicycles into rivers, building ramps and whatnot. So,
I had some friends who were going to do like a public access cable TV type of show.
Yeah. I
actually made the intro to the show. This is the only thing available at the time, but I made it. I learned how to do every animation in PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
I found some fun music we were going to throw into it and that sort of thing. And we were legit going to like run around Louisville, Kentucky and just do stupid stuff and film it and put it up on public access because that was pre-YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it was like the same thing, just like messing around with friends. Oh, we should videotape this or we should make something out of this. So that was kind of the aspect of like, it'd be cool to do that as a full-time job, but that was like a second thought.
Sure. Who are some people you guys were watching back then that were kind of like your inspiration at the onset?
Yeah, so I think right away, just like some of the largest YouTubers, you when you type in YouTube and you see just the people who pop up on the homepage, like Casey Neistat,
Professional Fun Hammer.
Peter McKinnon, Roman Atwood, like all the really big people that made money but also made really good content or had a lot of fun making content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like David Dobrik too, like all of those people are just huge.
Yeah.
And we were like, those people make
Dude
a lot
Perfect.
of money. Yeah, Dude Perfect.
Oh yeah. I don't want to know how much time they spend setting all that stuff up.
Oh,
that is
man.
absolutely
how many
insane.
shots they actually take for real trying some of that stuff.
The thing I wonder is like before each shot they name it
and
then they say it to the camera and then perform the shot.
Right.
And it happens every time. So how many times are you saying to the camera, this is the long bomb shot? You know, like
this is the shibboleth shot.
Yeah.
This time I really mean it shot.
Yeah. And you have to have energy every single time.
Yeah.
They bring the energy every time too. It's unreal.
So when you guys first got started then, once you got here, you were settled in, you started filming together, what was the initial project you were headed toward? What was it you were trying to do right off the bat?
I think it was just for both of us, we wanted a creative outlet outside of what we were actually doing for work.
Okay.
And that also kind of came into the money aspect. Like we wanted to make more money doing stuff we liked outside of work too.
Absolutely.
So like freelancing for me and doing photography, also making videos with my best friend.
Yeah.
So like that's how it came into one space, which was YouTube.
Yeah. Very cool. And you guys did a lot of exploring and that sort of thing too when you first got started. What was the first spot you guys, just for fun, the first spot you all wandered into, like, holy cow, we live here? What was the first place that you actually got a little bit of like, wow, when you went to go film?
I think honestly it was the first video we did. For me, it was the first video we did.
Oh yeah.
And the very last spot. So the basis behind our first video was we're starting out, we want to start out strong. and our channel was all about exploring the San Diego area
Yeah.
for, whoever might be visiting,
Mhm.
whoever might be local here and not have gone to these certain local spots
Right.
or, things like that. But the idea behind the video was choose 5 spots in San Diego that are local favorites
Mhm.
or maybe only the locals know about.
Right.
And on the very last spot we went for the day, it was walking up to the U.S.-Mexico border wall on the beach.
Yeah.
Like dipping your feet in the water at the border wall. And it's like, that's the farthest southwest place in the continental U.S. you can go. So right then it hit me. I was like, man, I'm really here.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm in the corner.
I can't go any farther.
Yeah. If I go over there, I get in trouble.
Yeah, right.
Well, we actually did get stopped by Border Patrol too.
Yeah.
They were like, don't pass this first fence because there's one like fence that says like stop here.
Yeah.
And then there's the actual border wall.
It says
Which
really, really.
Yeah,
Don't go past it.
well, and the actual border wall on the Mexican side, you can walk up to the actual wall,
Yeah.
and like stick your hands through and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
people were when we got close enough and like chatting at us.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a different experience. But a preface behind that video is we went out and asked some locals what they wanted or like what they were favorite places that we should go check out. And then we did 2 of our own. And that was the one that Brent had picked for the both of us to actually go do. So that was like actually really cool. And he had just moved out too. It was like 2 or 3 weeks maybe after.
Yeah, a month maybe.
Yeah.
We actually just hit a year of creating just like this week, I think, because
Awesome.
I
Happy
saw,
anniversary.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
1 year.
Because I saw our original like stay tuned video on Facebook. It came up like, 1 year ago today.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see.
A funny story from being at the border wall is people on the other side had a drone that was up.
Oh,
in the air.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And U.S. Border Patrol was way down the beach at
Yeah.
like maybe half a mile, quarter mile, half mile.
Mhm.
And they're flying it over and it's like right above us. And
Yeah.
we're starting to walk back to the car because it was like a mile hike.
Mhm.
But we get far enough out of range and the drone like loses it. They can't have radio connection anymore.
Yeah.
And it falls onto the beach.
Oh,
So-
no.
On the U.S. side.
Yeah, on the U.S. side. So their drone, I don't know what kind of drone it was, but
Yeah.
their drone was gone. Like
Yeah.
they can't have it anymore. So when we were going back and past the security U.S. border patrol, we were like, hey, I think they like lost a drone over back there in the sand. He's like, I'll go grab that one.
Yeah.
Free drone.
Yeah.
It's full of robots and drugs. And
Yeah, right.
Or the kid lost his toy. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, do you guys ever get lost when you've been out exploring? I mean, I know some phones help us out a lot, but
I don't know if we've ever really gotten lost. I think we've definitely been into like sketchy areas where we've been like, we probably shouldn't be here, but we're going to go anyway. Because when we went to the dam with Ray, we went to, I forget what that lake's called.
Lake Hodges.
Lake Hodges
Okay, yeah.
Dam. And we actually ended up talking to the security guard like at the very top of the dam. And he didn't really care. He was just sitting on his iPad watching Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
He's basically there just to make sure people aren't putting bombs on this dam.
Right,
So like
right.
the water didn't just flow,
Yeah.
but we were out there just taking pictures, messing around, and he was totally fine with it. But that was like the first like kind of sketchy thing or like where we could have totally gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
There. I don't think we've ever really gotten like super lost where we're like, I have no idea where I am.
No, I don't think so. It's because we film on our phone, so it's
Right.
It's at our hands.
Yeah, the whole
entire
time.
So we just have to switch out of filming to be on the map.
Yeah.
All right, we're going here.
So when Elizabeth and I were in college, we were in Northeast Tennessee, and the fun part is that all the roads eventually lead back down to the valley, and the valley is where all your main roads are going to be. So we would go out intentionally just try to get lost, just to kill time and have fun. And it's like, oh, you can always wind up back home. So
Yeah.
but there's some not good places to get lost at here. Another question for you guys: what would you say is your favorite video to date that you produced? It doesn't have to be the same one. But what's your favorite?
You go first for this one.
Okay, yeah. So I have kind of two answers to that. I would say favorite that we went out and explored for,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to do favorite that was produced. So
Okay.
like after editing,
like
all
that we actually put on YouTube and versus one we were just like super excited to go shoot.
right. Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
The physical experience
Mhm.
versus the
Well,
finished product.
yeah,
Sure.
okay.
Mhm. So, favorite to go shoot was what's the name of at Sunset Cliffs?
Oh, the
in
cave,
OB.
the
yeah,
the
I think they
cave.
call it like Devil's Cave or something like that. I don't know.
No, it's Devil's Punch Bowl.
Devil's Punch
Okay.
Bowl.
Punch Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much it's just this cave. The entire ceiling has fallen into the cave,
Okay.
and you can only access it through if you're going like through the water.
Mhm.
So, the caves at Sunset
Oh, yeah.
Cliffs, it's like 100-foot drop, whatever.
Yeah.
And we watched a video. We watched a video that was like, oh yeah, when it's low tide, you just have to go climb down here, this rock, this rock, this rock, that,
Yeah.
and that. We didn't go at low enough tide. So
It was like a negative 0.04, and normally it's like a -2
Yeah.
to get into this cave,
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So we go at sunrise, and
which is the lowest tide
Yeah.
during the day.
exactly. So and we end up climbing down the cliff because we're like, well, we made it here.
Yeah.
We're not gonna not go now. We found like the sketchiest path down. Eventually made it down to the beach, where at that point you still have like a 300-foot walk
Yeah.
through the water
Mhm.
to get into the cave. And we were in there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, tide's coming up. We really got to go.
Oh,
Yeah, We were not in there very long. We
Yeah.
probably could have stayed maybe another 5 minutes before we probably would have had to like swim up
Yeah.
with all of our gear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we had no baggies or anything. We just had our backpacks
Yeah.
like we always do.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was favorite to shoot.
Mhm.
And then favorite finished product was probably, for me, it was probably when you were out of town.
The split video.
Yeah, the split
Yeah.
video in Minnesota. And well, pretty much all we did for it was like a B-roll segment
Mhm.
of the whole thing, just cinematic shots.
Yeah.
But it was cool how it was like he's in a completely different atmosphere and climate than where I'm at. So
Right.
like I'm flying a drone around the beach and he's like in the woods of Minnesota and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. So I think that was my favorite actual final product.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
For me, I think our favorite one that we went to go shoot that didn't turn out to be the greatest, that we like actually took a lot of time doing,
Mhm.
was the abandoned train out in Jacumba
Mm.
Hot Springs.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun. That was like a sketchy video too, because we had to go down this like dirt road and park in a place where we didn't know if my car was going to get towed. And then we had to walk down the railroad tracks, and it was like, don't go beyond this point. And we're like, well, other people have been here before, so
Yeah.
whatever, let's just go. So that was probably the most fun to shoot. But finished product, I would say the most like thought through
Mhm.
one was probably the Mission Basilica Church, which is the first church of California,
Right.
which is right by our old apartment that we
Mhm.
had. So like that was probably our most thought out video, and like really thought about the script and what we needed to shoot. And we actually went back for a second day and
Mhm.
got extra shots to finish that
Yeah.
video. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Very good. So you've done all that stuff, and I was going to mention also too, like in your new season now
Mhm.
for the stuff for Slipicone, we'll get to that in a minute.
Mhm.
You all found a cool new little beach spot that I've driven past before. I had no idea it was there,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, still getting some of that locals only sort of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me is like when I saw that, I was like, oh crap. People are going to be ticked off that you showed people where that was. Don't tell them about this.
Yeah, all the local surfers are like, can't go there anymore.
Well, good thing we only get like 200 views on our videos.
Yeah.
So
But you're working to change that.
yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Good segue.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So that leads us up to the transition.
Yeah.
So you guys decided recently, kind of at the end of last year, coming into the beginning of this year, that, and when we talked initially, you said you all had some goals for yourself.
Mhm.
How many of those goals did you hit?
In
The-
2018?
Yeah.
Well,
Not
that one.
Like,
That one.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we said 0, but I think we actually only hit one goal, which was 100 subs.
Okay.
And that was like the
That
only
was, like,
goal.
yeah, months past when we wanted it, though.
Right.
Yeah. Like it was a goal, but we wanted to have it so much sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we want to try and encourage people to do is, find those moments where you're understanding that and grab, because a lot of the gut reaction is to run away from that.
Right.
Live in denial and like, no, I'm doing okay, and keep trying to chug forward without actually
Force
changing
it.
anything, or just try to force stuff. So did you guys have like a conversation like where it hit, or was it like a slow realization that built up to understand that it was time to set some goals for yourself and be accountable to them?
I think the moment where I like really realized it was the end of the year. It was right before Christmas, and he was going to be gone, and then I was going to be gone the following week, or I had family in town or something, where we couldn't shoot. And there was going to be a 2.5 week period where there was going to be no content or time to put out content. And I was like, we haven't really sat down and talked about what we really wanted to do with this channel since we had started. And that's where it really hit me. I was like, we haven't hit any goals. We haven't really been doing what we've been wanting to do. And we haven't even really talked about what he wants versus what I want. And we hadn't had that conversation with each other. We were just putting out random content.
Right.
So that was kind of where it clicked for me, at least, what we wanted to do going forward. And then we had that conversation.
Yeah. It kind of came to a breaking point during editing one night when we realized, this was our, whatever it was, third or fourth video in a row where we knew we had to put something out because we said we were going to put something out every week on Friday, but it wasn't well thought out. We didn't enjoy going to do it, and the end product was just not desirable to what we wanted to see out of ourselves.
Right.
So while we were editing one night, it was like, man, I'm just not having fun doing exactly what we're doing anymore.
Right.
So at that point we were like, let's step back for a couple weeks, whatever it is, for the holidays, take a break and figure out what we'll both come with separate ideas and figure out what we really want to do for this thing.
Yeah. And for a lot of people, that's called a critical conversation. It's not a fun conversation to have.
No, it definitely wasn't.
We were aggravated at each other.
Yeah.
We actually were arguing a lot. And like, you know how guys fight. We fight, and then it's like, oh, bro, shake, whatever. But for us, we were having those conversations almost daily, and I would get under his skin, or he would get under mine, and then we would just like not talk to each other for a couple hours, and then we would go play video games and be fine. And then it'd just be like, whatever.
So if you guys notice just in your friendship partnership, because it's hand in hand at this point. Have you all noticed a difference in how each of you all process moments like that? Like some people are external processors, and as you think about it, you need to say it out loud so you can grapple with it. Other people, they take things in and they sit and hang on to it for a little bit, and then they come back later with the response. So you guys similar in how you deal with stuff, or is there a difference going there?
You want me to take this one?
I mean, I would say we're both pretty outspoken.
Well, we're definitely outspoken, but I think for you definitely, like what he said, you have to think about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then come back. And me, I'm like, I want to have this conversation right now.
Yeah.
I want to get it done with and move on so we can actually go do stuff after that.
That's true.
Like, I want it done that second so I can go create more from that conversation. I want that conversation over with because I know it's not going to be fun. And I know we're going to argue and we're probably going to butt heads, but then we come back and we're like, we are still a team. We still want the same goals. And we want the best for each other. So it's like, where can we meet in the middle? And usually I let him sit for a little bit till he is ready to talk, and then we talk it out.
When Beth and I first got married, I call it our first real argument. We were in our first house, and I really honestly, to this moment, I don't remember what it was about. She might, because she's better at remembering specific things. Like me, I'm just like, I know this thing happened, but and so in my household, you hash stuff out, you take care of it, and you move on. In her household, you let stuff sit for a little bit and you process. So we're in our first house, and she is deciding that I need to go walk around the block and kind of cool off a little bit, process from it. Then we come in, we can talk about this. For me, newlywed Ben, I'm going, crap, she's walking out. So I stand in the door. I'm like, no, you can't leave. And so that just escalates things even more. So learned my lesson, but it was, but no, learning how to deal with those difficult times. If you can work through that, it's awesome. And it's always better on the tail end, because next time a difficult conversation comes up, it's not if, it's when. We've been through this before, And so you kind of understand each other's patterns and that sort of thing. It makes it that much easier.
Yeah. I feel like whenever I right away sit down and try and hash things out, I can't process everything that I actually want to say.
Right.
So it's like, have you ever like sat down with someone and there's this joke that you want to make, but you can't think of it in the right way, and then it's like 2 minutes later you come back and you're like, man, that would have been really funny. That's how I feel like sitting down and having those conversations. It's like I'm not going to be able to bring to the table everything that I want to say and everything that I think needs to be brought up if I don't, take a second to think about it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So, translating out, you're going to deal with this stuff in family, you're going to deal with this stuff in a marriage, you're going to deal with this stuff at work. If there had been like a team of like 8 or 10 people and you all had to process through this with a team bigger than the two of you guys, do you think you would handle it differently, or do you think because of your friendship you're able to dig in a little bit faster with what's going on in that moment?
I guess I don't really know, because we have never had anyone under us where or like had a team where we've been in a big production trying to get the same creative goal done. I guess we've only been in team settings at our jobs where like, kind of same concept, but I don't think it would be in more collaborative state where we're working with that many people.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever really been in that situation before.
Yeah. I mean, like
at least not
through projects in school or something. It's like.
I had a guy in middle school that we had the same science fair project we're supposed to team up to do together, and we decided we were going to make a quicksand tank. So it was all plexiglass. So basically building a fish tank, holes at the end, ran some pipe through the middle, ran a hose, and it ran the water. And, I went to Spencer's Gifts, and I got one of those arms that hangs out of the back of your trunk. So I put the hand in the quicksand, so you turn it on, the hand was... Well, the guy that was supposed to be my partner did jack. And so at the end of it, the teacher says, so what grade do you give your partner? I was like, F.
Yeah.
Because the backboard that he did was garbage. It was it's like, no, this isn't good at all. And I built this whole stinking thing. My dad helped me because I was in middle school. But, it was like, but I helped,
Right.
My dad built it, I helped. But and then when I told everybody, they were like, what'd you give Matt? And I was like, I flunked him. Like, you can't do that. I was like, oh, no, I did. And so I asked the teacher, I said, hey, can I go back in and check? I started feeling guilty. So I was like, all right. So I went and asked the teacher, I said, hey, I've been thinking about it a little bit more. I don't think I gave him a fair grade. And so I gave him a C. And I was like, that is not A work, friend. But no, it's hard because you want to maintain the friendship, but you need to be able to be honest with each other. And I think you guys have handled that really, really well.
Yeah.
So, I think we're in a spot together where we're like, we've been friends for so long, and then like we know that there's not going to be the easiest conversations going throughout a business or whatever you may call this, where it's like, we know we can say anything to each other and not have the other person take it as like an offensive comment or whatever it may be.
Well, and we mentioned this earlier, bro fights are a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even if you need to pop them in the arm or something, you're stupid.
Exactly.
You're all right later. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's just because we've spent so much time together.
Yeah.
Like we used to work at the same place back home. And during school, we would always hang out with each other literally the whole time, whether he liked it or not. I would come over to his house with his roommates and just hang out the whole time and just be there. So
Nick's here again.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Another day.
So what goals did you set out to do first? What was the top of the line for you guys? So we want to make sure we hit this first. What's the biggest goal right now for Half of Hazel?
I think the first thing we came up with on the list, like when we had that conversation in December, was collaboration.
Okay.
Like we just wanted to collaborate with other people, but we wanted to bring value to those people too. We wanted to help them grow while we grew at the same time and show that process all at the same time.
Yeah.
So was like the first thing that we wanted to accomplish as a team.
Okay. Yeah. What's maybe the next 2 or 3 things in line?
What was it?
2 or 3. So right off the bat, it was the collaboration was the highest regarded, and then I think right under that, just to see some tangibles.
Okay.
We want to hit 1,000 subscribers.
Oh,
sure.
On YouTube.
Yep.
So just so we can get that reassurance, whatever we may need.
Right.
To be like, okay, what we're doing now is actually working. You know, people are watching, people are following along, people care about this content.
Yeah.
And then under that, I can't remember.
I think we got more into personal goals then. Like I wanted to push my photography and stuff like that, and you wanted to push more video, but also do golf courses. Like he wanted to drone golf courses.
So that was like one of the ideas that we're shooting for.
Yeah, still like in the works of trying to get people to do it. But and then me was clothing brands with photography and stuff like that, which I've done 2 already, and just shot another thing up in LA for a band that my buddy's in. So like, I think I've taken more pictures in the last 2 or 3 months since we've had that conversation, like in that short span of time, than I have like ever before. For other people. Usually I'm just taking random pictures for me. It's actually for other people. So.
So how do you guys? I mean, because the transition's still fresh for you guys. So how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling more purposeful, more intentional with what's going on? How does the transition feel right now?
Definitely.
I'd say definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because we actually have goals set that we really want to hit, and they're tangible. You know, we can get the feedback from not only ourselves, but from the people that we're collaborating with.
Right.
As opposed to just him being like, hey, we need to do this more. You need to do this more. I need to do this more. We have, I don't want to call them clients because we're not getting paid for it.
Right.
But we have people that we're working with who can bring in a opinion opposite of us and really give us the feedback on, you guys don't offer this right now. Like this, you need to start doing this. Just pretty much a third opinion.
Sure.
Because we think so much alike. It's like we're connected at it sometimes, so it's like,
well, we finish each other's sentences and say the same thing all the time.
Exactly.
So weird. It's actually the weirdest thing.
It's so cute. So I've got some guys I'm doing some consultation work for right now.
Yeah.
And they're still kind of fresh together as a team. And I'll start that over. He's having a good time. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got some guys that I'm doing a consultation for right now, and they're fresh together as a team. They both have a lot of experience in what they're doing, but being that third set of eyes again outside, being able to come in and speak into this is my experience and this is what I'm seeing, and it's helpful to be able to have that person who really doesn't care one way or the other come in and go, this is what I was expecting, or have you guys thought about that? And so being open to that, that's a part of the transition.
Yeah.
Because you guys really weren't seeking that out before.
No, definitely not.
It was just, hoping someone commented with some feedback or something like that. But,
or just hoping that someone would watch it and we'd get picked up and they would want us on their team or something like that. Or they would want to collab. We weren't ever actively seeking out collaboration before.
Right.
And as soon as we started talking about who we wanted to collaborate with, we messaged as many people as we could. Like for clothing brands, I think we messaged over 300, 400 Instagram accounts just to get photo shoots, and we were offering them for free.
Yeah.
So like that was the biggest thing, is to see if they wanted to collaborate with us, and we would give them free work. So
yeah, and that's the other thing, when you're producing work for other people and what they're interested in, they're going to give you their honest feedback. You don't have to ask for that. You know, if you're making a video or you're shooting photos for someone and they don't like it, they're going to tell you straight up, I'm not going to use these. You know?
Yeah.
So it's really a good way to get honest feedback quick from someone.
Yeah.
Well, and if they are excited about it, they're going to use it. They won't really say like, hey, this is good. They're just going to use it regardless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for Slippa, it was kind of funny. They just started posting my photos, which was super nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a point where I was like, okay, these are good. What can I do next to like get someone else to post my photos again for me to grow personally and push Half of Hazel?
Yeah. Very cool. So a couple of key things for the transition then sounds, what I'm hearing is intentionality, right? Those tangibles, that, stuff that's setting goals. Do you guys have a set time when you want to see the 1,000 subs hit?
I mean, this
6 months or a year?
Yeah, I mean, this year definitely. I mean, we only had 142 when we took our break.
Okay.
And we're at 167 now, I think. So, like, it's a good, steady growth right now. But like you guys have told us before, is the jump really happens from 500 to 1,000.
Right.
Like, it goes really quick from there.
Yeah.
So I think 500 is probably more of a better goal for us like short term,
Mhm.
and then long term 1,000 in a year,
Mhm.
because we're basically still at zero.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I see the 0 to 100 or 0 to 200 still being zero basically,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
because 1,000 comes pretty quickly once you get a little bit higher.
Right.
So
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Very good.
Yeah.
So we got intentionality, we got outside eyes, and the tangibles. Is there anything else you feel like have been key components of your transition time right now?
I think having a purpose, a real actual purpose for our channel, because before the purpose was going out and exploring,
Mhm.
but there wasn't much behind it. There wasn't much thought going into it. Whereas for shooting promotional photo and video
Yeah.
for people, you have to have a plan before you go
Oh,
there,
sure.
or else it's gonna show up that
Mhm.
that you don't know what you're doing.
Right. And that's going to be attractive to the people you're trying to take the photos for. It's like, hey, we're going to go explore. I'm going to get some awesome shots, and we're going to go places where everybody takes their pictures. If you go to Balboa Park,
Yeah.
looking at the conservatory, that is literally the most photographed space in the state of California.
yeah,
And I think the Golden Gate Bridge is second.
Really?
yeah,
That's it. If nobody wants you to go shoot their stuff in front of that,
Right.
because that's not new. It's not fresh. It's not going
Right.
to catch anybody. It's like, oh, they're at Balboa. Great.
Yeah.
But if you go find these awesome spots and you take their gear with you, and you're like, boom, here it is. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I've
where it
never
comes
seen
alive.
that shot before.
Mhm.
You get to explore and do a good job promoting for people. That's super cool because there's purpose and intentionality. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome. Very cool. So what are some other things you guys are looking forward to now with the Switch?
I think just meeting more people.
Okay.
We're both pretty new to the area.
Mhm.
The only real person outside of work that I and Nick that I hang out with
Yeah.
is some friends up in Orange County.
Okay.
So just getting to know more people in the area, whether that be companies or actual people doing their own thing, just kind of that collaborative effort. Other creators want to create too.
Right.
So if we can, that's like our thing. If we want to,
Yeah.
if we can help them out in that process, then everyone's reaching their goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things we talk about here at BetaHaus is that creativity dies in a vacuum. If you're just by yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it sounds good to me, but there's no one to bounce it off of.
Yeah.
That's again those third set of eyes. So yeah, getting out there and meeting people, that's awesome.
Right.
What about for you, Nick?
Most excited for it? Is that
Yeah.
what the question was?
Yeah.
Honestly,
My answer
just
blew you away.
yeah,
You
dude.
forgot.
I have no idea what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, well, the collaboration obviously is
Mhm.
probably the biggest thing, but for me, just like taking more pictures and actually seeing the growth.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the one point where someone posts my picture or reposts one of our promo videos
Mhm.
where there is a little bit of a jump.
Yeah.
Maybe not even a big jump, but maybe just like we reached a little bit of their following
Mhm.
and there's 30 subscribers or just like 10, just a
Mhm.
small growth where
Yeah.
I knew that collaboration
Mhm.
helped us
Yeah.
Mhm.
and really pushed us to actually go out and get more collaboration. We
Mhm.
haven't really seen that yet.
Mhm.
Like I've seen people get excited about our work and Slippo love the video and they love the pictures, but we really didn't see a lot of growth from that, which was fine. Like that was our first collaboration
Yeah.
of 2019. So it was honestly like we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, and finding those moments when they occur and celebrating the win is
yeah,
huge.
Mhm.
Because if you're waiting for the big payoff to celebrate 1,000 subs, okay,
It's gonna be a while.
it's gonna be a little bit.
exactly.
It's like no. We got another sponsor to come in. They're letting us take photos of their gear. They're getting our name out. That's a win.
Mhm.
Right.
Every time it happens, it's a win. And a lot
Yeah.
of people, when they make that transition and they finally decide to do stuff, that final goal hangs out there so much that that's all they're focused on, and they don't see the good stuff that's happening
right.
leading up to.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys can see that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Very good. Well, guys, at this point in the show, we always give people a chance to do just a random shout out. You can promo whoever you want, whatever you want. We'll tag it in. You can tell us what music you're listening to. I'm already going to tag everything you've mentioned so far.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's all going to be. I'll go back through and listen through, and we'll make sure things tagged up.
Mhm.
But then, like, what do you guys like? If you say, hey, what book should I read? What music should I listen to? What restaurant are you guys enjoying? Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. Let us have it.
In and out. No, just kidding. I guess I will shout out someone we use in our videos every day. Moment Lens.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we film entirely with our cell phones.
Yeah.
Minus the drone and a couple of my videos from my camera, but
Right.
and
Right.
GoPro, but
Primarily.
the majority
Yeah.
come from our phones.
And this.
yeah,
and that,
yeah, and a couple other things.
Yeah.
And this $1 million camera that we
Yeah.
use. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but 90% of our footage is
Mhm.
shot on our phones with Moment lenses.
Yeah.
And what Moment lenses are is they make lenses with really high quality glass,
Mhm.
and high. The metal?
What metal?
Can I start this over?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to shout out Moment lenses.
Mhm.
We film everything with our phone.
Right.
So Moment makes a case
Okay.
with an attachment where you just screw their special made cell phone lens
Okay.
into your phone,
Mhm.
and it turns the shot into. We have lenses for a wider angle, a superfish, which kind of distorts the shot a little bit. And then we just got a macro actually, which we're
Oh,
super
nice.
excited
Very
about
cool.
Yeah.
for super close up shots.
Yeah.
But they've revolutionized, mobile photography.
Mhm.
Their slogan is the best camera you can have is the one that's always with you.
Yeah.
So we're just excited that we get to use that they created these things so that we can use them,
Yeah.
because otherwise I don't know if we'd have the capital to make videos
Right.
and afford a camera and this
Yeah.
and that and whatever. So
So let's look at the camera right now. Hey, Moment.
your moment.
Sponsorship's awesome. Yeah.
Gosh, that whole time I wasn't thinking at all. I was actually just listening to what you were saying.
You're just lost in it.
I don't even know right now.
Who are you listening to right now?
Like as far
Music-wise,
as
yeah.
music,
Yeah.
podcasts.
Sure.
Ryan Carveo's got a new album coming out.
Oh yeah, but so does everybody.
Yeah.
else.
I'm dropping one next week. So.
yeah, me too. I'll just do actually the shirt that I'm wearing. It's Cult Chicago.
Okay.
This is a guy who is a friend of one of my friends.
Mhm.
He studied abroad with him in South Africa, and he lives in Chicago, and he's
Mhm.
starting up this brand called Cult, and he's opening a shop in Chicago really soon. But these shirts are all one of one. He hand dyes every single one.
Oh, wow.
He does long sleeves. He just stopped putting out stuff, and I think he just dropped a new season
Okay.
of clothing
Yeah.
to promote his new store coming up. I don't know when the store actually opens, but
Mhm.
it's coming up soon. He just dropped some new clothing. So at Cult Chicago on Instagram.
Okay.
I don't know if he has, he definitely has a website, but I think if you just look up Cult Chicago,
Sure.
you'll
If I can
find
find
it.
it, I'll
Yeah,
drop it
you'll
in.
find
Yeah,
it.
Awesome. Well, cool, guys. Appreciate you all coming
Yeah.
out today. It's been fun having you here at the studio today. And
Thanks for having us. For
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
absolutely.
Been a blast.
It's been a long time coming for this podcast.
That's
so
it.
yeah.
We'll let you guys in on a little secret. We've already filmed this once.
Yeah.
It's our second go around. So
And we tried
yeah.
15 times.
Yeah,
before
for
that,
real.
so, yeah.
We met them 6 months ago.
Yeah.
we should do something. Yes, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's both of us. So it's all of us. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, appreciate it, guys. If you're listening along on one of our wonderful podcast distribution systems, make sure you give us a good rating on there so other people can find us. Leave us a review down below because that actually ups our visibility for other people. Easy for me to say. And if you are watching us here on YouTube, hello. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe and ring the bell down in the corner so you get more notifications when awesome stuff like this pops up so you don't miss out on these great stories like the guys from Half of Hazel. Guys, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.